I'm still floored. All right, Kelly Craft's going to stick around. We've got more for her. Let's bring in our think tank today. Joining me, criminal defense attorney Josh Kolsrud, also with us, former law enforcement officer and host of the Strong Enough podcast, Claudia King, and finally, entertainment host Holland Reed. Okay, let's go around the horn once here and tell me what you think the story's going to be about what happened. Will he say that, oh yeah, Christine, she was into all this wild stuff, I wasn't into it, and that's why I'm with Juliana. She's a much more conservative woman. Christine was into this crazy stuff. What's he going to say? Josh, you go first.
You know, I am going to give a response that, is probably going to be a little surprising. I think this is just gamesmanship by the defense team. They want the prosecutors to be focusing on what their cross-examination is going to be this weekend instead of polishing their closing arguments. I wouldn't put it past a defense team to do something like this before a weekend of preparation, especially when they're ahead on the scorecards. And if you look at the defendant today, he seemed surprised as well that his attorneys would say that. Now, if he does take the stand, he's going to have to obviously disavow any knowledge of that website that she was supposedly using about the rape situation. And he's going to probably have to cast some blame on the au pair as well. So that's my prediction. My prediction is that he's not going to testify. I think that we need to be careful with evaluating somebody's voice and their twitches and, attribute it to some type of science, because this isn't science, right? There's no peer review article that says that we can tell if somebody is lying based on their vocal cords and twitches in their eyes about a murder. Now, that doesn't mean that he should testify, right? Because if he testifies, what it does is it takes the eyes of the jury off of the differences that the defense wants them to focus on, namely that Juliet is going to, was offered $10,000 by Netflix to change her story, basically, and be a star of the show about this trial. Take their eyes off the ball regarding the forensic expert who was taken off the case because his views about the evidence was different than his supervisors, and other contradictions. That all goes away if he takes the witness stand, because now they're going to be evaluating exactly what you're talking about. His eyes are twitching. His vocal cords are a little bit different. Maybe he didn't answer the question the way that
Josh,
I would expect.
I think we need a moment. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the defense attacking the catfishing theory plus coming up next hour.
Vinny, I think that the defense has shown that there's some doubt here about the whole FetLife situation. I mean, the prosecution framed the whole FetLife thing like it was some sort of fingerprint. And I don't know if they didn't think ahead, but, that's the weakest piece of evidence that they have. I mean, you have Detective Miller, who was the originally assigned detective on this case, who basically proclaimed that there wasn't an issue or a question that the victim in this case, she always had her phone and her computer on her. There was no question that somebody else had that. And of course, he gave that story or that opinion before Juliet came forward and changed her story. Now you also have a second expert saying that he doesn't think that there's a catfish situation going on. So, I think that the prosecution has set a trap that they've put their own foot in, and they've created, the defense has created so much doubt here that, I don't think that it's going to be necessary for the defendant to decide to actually testify next week.